What? Anyway.
Sorry, man. You gave me a straight line.
For once. Anyway, she was like, she goes, I said, but look at this. And she's like, motherfuck. It'd be like me getting a fucking Alpenhorn, Mike. Or an air raid siren.
When Donovan was young, we traveled up to Canada for some hockey games that he was playing in. And I tell you what, there was an air raid siren.
Oh, there's
pretty damn loud.
I've got an awesome picture. I have to send it to you. James on an air raid siren. The offense had come in and like the ball had tipped and one of the offensive linemen had caught it. And so the O-line, when they finally came back in, they were he's on an air raid siren, cranking the shit out of it. I have to see if I can find it. It's hilarious.
Things that amuse us old guys.
Titties, beer.
Libraries.
Did you say vibrators?
I said libraries.
Libraries.
No, I wasn't over at P. Diddy's house.
Okay, so we're live. So this is good. Thanks for that was a lively introduction for the stream this evening. All right, everybody.
Wait. For the record, I want to clarify anything. Stephanie's titties. There we go. I got the warning text, so I was just clarifying for her.
Okay. That's great. All right, so everybody, welcome back. This is the Mystic Syndicate, and in cahoots with the Drunkards and Dragons crew here, and we are on episode 41. I know, episode 41. I know it's incredible that we've made it this far. Wow, I'm like total. It's been a really long day, so I've just been like, and the worst part about it is I jumped in here and I was looking for this one specific map that I wanted to use this evening, and I'm like, where did I put this map? It's not in Roll20, but I created it in Roll20. I mean, so I found it, and it was actually in the duplicate of A Princess of Celene, but it was the duplicate set for Pathfinder 2nd edition. So you can't just drop and drag stuff from other games. So I had to recreate it completely from scratch in about 20 minutes. I was like, really? Like I need this today? But I got it all done. So it looks pretty sweet. I don't even know if we're going to even get to that map. But knowing you guys, it could happen. I don't know. So, alrighty. But everybody, I'm glad everybody's back.
We are a random roll chart.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, there's no rhyme or reason sometimes. So this is episode 41. Thanks for everybody for showing up this evening. Thanks to those people who might be watching us later for taking the time to check out our stream. Make sure to drop by and every once in a while, I know that Ed is creating new content over. Do you have a new website or is it the same website?
So there is a Drunken Syndicate website, which is kind of a bubble up site, but I am maintaining the Drunkards and Dragons, so you can go there. Likewise, the Drunken Syndicate channel's got a few things on there, and we're playing with some stuff, but seeing some good traffic already, so I like it.
Good. Okay, this is good. Alrighty, so yeah, make sure to drop over there for new content. There's new articles going up pretty quickly. I also know that there has been some new videos coming out from you as well, Ed, that I've been watching. Which have so you want to plug that channel real quick?
Yeah, it is the Drunken Syndicate YouTube channel. So go over there, subscribe, check out what we got over there. What did you think of the videos, Brian?
I liked it. It was very good. I think it was very well put together. Yeah, really, really nice. So
it actually shows my intellectual side versus my my mental illness side.
Your who? Your what?
My normal side.
Your huh?
The one he keeps in the closet, locked away.
Keeps it like a child.
The movie Misery. That's it.
I've never been compared to Annie Wilkes before. I'm going to contemplate that one for a while. You dirty bird, you.
That was one of the first dates I took Gail on. And she's still married.
That was a date?
It was a date.
That was memorable.
Oh, yeah. And she reminds me of that every so often.
Wow. Okay. That's pretty good. That's wild. Okay. Oh, yeah, I don't. Yeah, my first date with Lynn was so totally alien from what most people consider a date. It was just a lot of fun. I was actually at a party, and it was in my honor, which was really hilarious because I just came back from the service, and my parents wanted to throw like this big party and have like friends and everybody come over, and Lynn shows up, and at that point in time, I really had no real interest. I didn't really know her that well, and so we were sitting there talking, and she said, "Hey, what are you doing tomorrow?" And I'm like, "I've got absolutely nothing going on. I just got back. I'm just still trying to get, acclimated." She said, "Hey, why don't you just come flying with me?" And I'm like, "What?" And I went, "Yeah, I got my pilot's license. Let's go flying." I was like, "Cool." So we went flying. And
very cool.
Yeah, it's been pretty much like that the rest of there was it 33 years. So not too shabby.
I was waiting to hear you showed up at the house for your party with looking like Billy Babka and threw some army kung fu moves on somebody or something.
No, it was pretty tame. It was not as bad as the party that they threw before I went into the service. That was bad. That turned out it was a good night, but people got hurt. So,
or it could have been the going away party they threw you after you left.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. I think my stepdad would have probably have been happy to have thrown that party. I mean,
I was talking about your army friends.
Yeah. Oh, my army friends. Yeah. I don't know. I think I was pretty. Well, of course, everybody would think they're pretty cool, but who knows what their friends like.
I was hated.
You were hated.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. It's. I know we're supposed to be playing Dungeons and Dragons, but it's just so funny that I had actually injured myself at a Super Bowl party while I was in the Army. I ran into a hanging lamp and almost pulled and I scratched the cornea of one of my eyeballs, and it was like a gouge. I mean, it like literally took a chunk out of the lens. And so the Monday after the game, of course, I was standing in formation, and they're going down and making sure everybody is ship shape and all that good stuff. And they got to me, and like my whole entire eye was just purpley. It was swollen shut, and I just remember the sergeant looking at me and said, "Anderson, did you get in a fight?" And the guy next to me who was at the party, he says, "Sergeant, he ran into a hanging lamp." And he was like, "Of course you did. Of course." And so they sent me to sick call. They sent me to the troop medical clinic. They took one look at me and went, "We can't help you." So they shipped me to an Army hospital, which was 80 kilometers away. And they sent another soldier with me, which thank God they did. Because when I got there, they treated the eye that was screwed up, but then they wrapped both eyes. So I was blind for 2 weeks. And my friends, assholes, pretty much led me around for 2 weeks, feeding me stuff. I don't know if I was really eating food or not.
Real friends.
Yeah, real friends. I'm still friends with these people, mind you. But there was one time we walked into the chow hall. I'm being led, and one guy somewhere in the crowd of people who was eating said, "Hey, Doc, what happened to your eyes?" And my buddy, his name's Alan Cowan, awesome, super awesome guy. All he does is yell out across the entire cafeteria is, "I skull fucked him." And I'm like,
The army.
I want to kill you. And of course, everybody is laughing their ass off, and I'm mortified, but I can't see shit. And I'm like, damn. Okay, enough is enough. Let's play some Dungeons and Dragons. Okay, so the last time that we were together, trust me, I have other horrible stories that you guys would only just look. Maybe that's one night when we're not playing, we all get together and just hash out weird shit that happened to us when we were younger. Trauma bonding.
Wait a minute, would that be called Dungeons and Therapy, or wait a minute, Matt and Therapy?
Therapy and Dragons?
I've got 50 some odd pages of Ed stories.
Oh, God.
I actually like the name Tunnels and Therapy, but that sounds kind of creepy in a lot of ways too. Like Tunnels and Trolls, because we're all and
yeah, that's true. All right, so the last time that we were all together, you had returned the egg to Eravisterax. You had made an agreement with her that you were going to take the egg to Celene. And I believe that's kind of where we left off, is that she has not actually delivered the egg yet. I believe you all were still just putting the final touches with Shira, the Queen Mother, to stash this egg in probably the safest place that there could be. And so now you are just waiting for the arrival of Eravisterax herself to deliver the egg to Shira. So, and I believe you actually have to meet her in the graveyard, the royal graveyard in the mountains just west of Instad itself. There's like
I think we have to meet her at
the graveyard part.
I thought we were just meeting her in the mountains. The royal graveyard puts a whole nother level of weird on it.
Wait, he can't bring out the weird yet because it's not October.
Thank God Kiffy has 6-level spells.
But really, Halloween starts on like the 1st of September.
We grabbed out all our Halloween decorations. I got to see one earlier.
Yeah, if you're in Walgreens or Lowe's or Home Depot, they already have all their stuff out. I mean, it's a given.
We love them. They never get put away. They just never get put away. We just keep adding to them.
Yeah, that's probably about it. All right. So I believe where you guys are actually at right now is standing on the little island talking with Shira, and that is where we're going to pick up. Okay. So you pretty much believe that you've got probably a whole day before you were supposed to meet with Eravisterax at that location. And I think Kellex, you had to actually reach out to Eravisterax to let her know of the actual location. So she would have to, because right now she's not really too sure of the rendezvous point, but you now have that information and you can do that.
I'm assuming she can actually home on the item. Maybe.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, you can communicate with her. So, and she can, detect that item as well. Yeah, it's very, very similar to the same one that Toby had used with his vampire friends.
They're in league.
It almost sounds like
How similar?
Yeah.
Similar.
Vampire friends.
That's Toby and his vampire friends. Yes.
Wait a minute. I wonder if I can book them as my backup singer.
Oh my God, that's what I was gonna go there. I was like, that's the name of a band, isn't it? Toby and the Vampires. Wow.
Toby and the vampires.
And we hung out way too much. We both got to the same spot, sort of.
Cool.
Yeah, well, remind me later to tell you about Steph and my conversation about my life with the Thrill Kill cult. So,
Oh, a great concert.
Okay.
Backup singers did not wear underwear. And the skirts were really, really high.
Okay. I've heard the name, not familiar. Never obviously went to one of their concerts. Okay. So, like I said, you have a good solid day. So what is it that you're going to do in Instead while you are here?
We need to find something of the evil princess.
Yeah, I was going to ask if we actually decided maybe we need to talk about what's our next move after meeting.
Dryad.
I'm looking
Right?
at like her hairbrush or something like that.
The Dryad should probably be our next one because right now we have an ever escalating scale of shit we're dealing with. And the more we put off the Dryad, the more one little, oh, look, you messed up here from the Dryad could be quite fatal. We've been around it, and she's caused us trouble before. Time to take care of the Dryad. Otherwise, we're going to go stepping off into other things. Like I said, it's getting tougher and tougher. I would have rather taken care of it in Maryville. But
somebody threw a thing on the ground and blew everything up.
That did
And
not
then
stop.
someone have a pincher came.
We started taking care of it.
So I have a question for Grinna. I mean, obviously we know this is tied to you, which is then tied to us. What do you know, I guess, of the Fae? I mean, out of character we know quite a bit, but I just wondered, what does Grinna know?
Oh,
What does Grinna want to do? What does Grinna want to do?
Brian, what does Grinna know about the Fae?
What you know about the Fae is that you know a little bit about them. You do understand that you have Fae blood yourself.
Just recently learned that. Awesome.
Yeah. But there's so much more to learn about you, Grinna. You have no clue. You have no clue yet. So, I mean, you've heard tales of the Feywild. Your parents have told you things before. You have experienced it in dreams. That's something that has happened to you even before the Tear of Vecna. You have, and it's not like you're plagued by these. These are wondrous dreams of just fields of strange and exotic plants, animals that talk. Just skies the color of purples and oranges, and it's just such a powerful magical place. So that's one thing you know about it. And then of course the situation that you're the situation that is actually happening to you, you're the Fey blood actually making changes within you. That's about all you know. It's still quite a mystery, being that you believe that you've never actually been to the Feywild. You have no frame of reference.
So I'm sorry, granted, nobody knows anything about the Feywild, essentially.
Just that book that we took from those brothers.
Oh, really? Can you have a read in there? Just maybe help us, maybe give us because I guess the understanding is the idea we're going to the Feywild to present ourselves in front of the court.
Yes.
Yep.
Is there anything in there, any details that could help us within the book?
Brian, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was my understanding the book was just about the wilds. It didn't say anything about the court, and it was only from a certain point of entrance.
Right, exactly. It was from what people or creatures who go to the Feywild. They primarily travel through these ancient standing stones, which are usually guarded and protected by druids. So if you can find a druid who is in charge of an area, and actually you've already met one,
We know one, yeah.
you actually know one, then you would it would be easy for you to just approach that person, tell them what your intent is, and then they
I
would
think
be
we
able
talked
to.
about that a while back.
I
A
thought
long
we
while
had
back.
come, and she had told us that there were a couple of points of entrance for us. Because I thought we had told her, because she had said something about it. Sorry.
Who was
I'm
it?
being very vague. I'm not trying to be.
Who was it that told you?
The
That's Shira.
yeah, I thought
Yeah.
it was Sheriff who said something. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because Shira is a druid. But you have actually met someone who is guarding and knows how to activate the stones. So
Yeah,
and that
remember?
I am the
Okay,
mushroom.
ceremony? I messed this.
It was the first guy we met when we entered
Yeah,
Celene.
with
Yeah.
the mushroom. Yeah.
Yeah.
We interrupted something.
yeah, he was
We
actually
didn't interrupt anything. Timble did.
Temple did it.
I'm not
Okay.
hiding it.
But yeah, that
Probably. Is he in the city, or does he not come in the
No,
city?
he stays in the wilds, he said.
Yeah. Okay.
He
Yeah,
works
it's
for
Barth. I
country.
think it was a Barthmulus. Is it Barthmulus?
I was looking, but I don't see in my notes his name. I know I wrote it down, but
Yeah, I got
a while ago.
Barthomulus or something like that. Brian,
Yeah.
is that it?
Is it in the NPC list?
Oh, you know what? Did not look there. I was looking through my notes.
Now, if I missed it and forgot to put it in there, that would be quite terrible. But you just never know. I might have added him. It sounds like something.
DM's got a lot on their plate, so
Yeah. All right, let's take a look and see if we can find this guy.
yeah, I'm not seeing him.
Yeah,
Oh, they're in the order that we met them.
let's see. I have tried to break it down, but sometimes it's little. Sometimes I forget them. Yeah, I don't.
So what
I don't see him on
yeah,
here.
so I got here is it's I probably spelled it totally wrong. So I got BARTHOMULUS elf druid summoning a fae.
Yeah, like Bartolomus.
Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that.
Okay. Well,
And he,
but
and he,
okay.
and
Well,
he told us we had to make the curse. We had to plead our case in front of the Rose Court.
Yeah.
right. Well, it's Summer Court, Rose Court. Okay. So here's the situation. Being that you took the time to write it down, it now becomes canon. So
I have the same name. I have the
Just
same
call it
name.
Art short.
That's him.
okay. So that's good. All right.
That was the dude chanting in the forest that I took umbrage with.
Just another person that you've taken umbrage with.
Hey, I've not started all of this shit. That shit was going on well before we got here.
Okay. That's good. Okay, so at least you have a little bit of information. Yes, Grinna, as you were saying, the Ravo brothers who wrote um, that pamphlet on the Feywild had entered through one of those stones, one of those standing stone areas. They did not visit any courts, though. They just explored the immediate area around where the stone left them. They did not. They did not go and try to associate with other beings. They just took a look around really quick, drew some things, really, and it's like, okay, this place is very, very strange. But they also did notice that once they did return to the regular common realm, that time was a lot different in the Feywild, where they were only in what they believed they were only in the Feywild for probably maybe 20 minutes. They had already lost 2 days in the real world. Yeah, time is different. It does weird stuff in the for the Fey.
And perhaps, Brian, just out of curiosity, would I know anything about the Feywild being in that kind of region in the Yeomanry, which is more rustic-ish? I would think.
You can give a history check.
All right. And
So we probably need to find this druid guy. Oh, what did you say his name was?
Bartholomew.
Yep.
oh,
Nice. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, actually, yeah, you have a little bit more information that you can draw from. You have read some accounts of others who have traveled through the Standing Stones, have actually visited courts, and understand that how dangerous this place truly is. The Fae can be extremely tricky. They will try to uh, that they don't have a problem with enslaving and also consuming outsiders. Uh, they're
Yep.
yeah, they're very intelligent, but another thing that you also note about them is that they are almost impossible to kill. They are immortal in a way, but there is some ways to destroy them, but they are not known to the likes of man. So it's a little tricky.
Wizards
uh,
have
well, the question is
Fireball.
is the is the general belief silvered magical weapons is what I was kind of going to go with.
Yes.
Roger.
What about iron?
Well, okay. Well, the cold iron is really the weapon of choice to use against the Fae. Yeah.
I got my lead pipe.
Lead
it's
pipe.
not iron.
So
Speaking of which,
Mhm.
I need to get some sewing needles. About 24.
Okay. Are you?
What? So when you get to the Fae, you can be a little prick.
No. It's a great way to torture them.
Oh, okay. I thought you were getting with Grenna and making a claymore mine out of these things and just
Make some grenades with those around them. Oh, right.
Oh no!
just
Iron shit.
yeah, flechettes. Yeah, cold iron flechettes for your Fey enemies.
Well, Fae are not human, so therefore
That is true.
they're not human. So
They are not human, or they are not human. Correct.
So I'm assuming Grin has kind of passed this information on from the book to the rest of the group. So
Yes.
Yes.
the Kellic is going to kind of say, I understand, this curse is a problem. However, do we really want to leave the issues happening here in Celene, hence the princess, that long? Because if we're not going to go in there just for 20 minutes. I have a feeling it's going to be longer than that. Do we want to leave that sitting around for almost a week or two?
Are
You
you
feel
sure
comfortable?
you want to keep going into larger into fights and dealing with things that have greater portent, that have the ability to have greater ramification every time the Dryad decides to stick her nose in.
No, I totally agree. I'm just saying, I don't feel comfortable
Or something.
leaving this situation unresolved, for any longer periods than it is now.
They can come
I
with
mean-
us.
Symbol,
They
you
can
just
take
got a lot
along.
of words. What did you mean?
We can tag them along. Come on. Hey, let's run in.
Ooh, dinner time. Yes, please. I mean, maybe if we can, I would feel more comfortable if we knew there weren't going to be any shenanigans happening while we're away.
Shenanigans?
Shenanigans. Yes, Calix used shenanigans. He's been
There
around
will
you guys long
always
enough.
be Shenanigans. Always. Because people
I
are
was going to say,
stupid.
how would we be able to verify the safety of the future? Do you have some ability to tell the future that you've been hiding? Because there's no way to know.
That would be Kiffy.
Kiffy.
It's not about the future. She's not gone, right? The whatever her name was, the princess.
I should know. She isn't.
So, I mean, again, I'm not saying we should do one or the other. I'm just saying I don't feel comfortable. 'Cause obviously, we're going to be longer than 2 days.
Well, I think the big thing for me is that we brought a dragon egg here for a reason.
Mhm.
They're kind of big swingers here. They're pretty tough on their own. I think that we need to deal with the Dryad. That's honestly how I feel.
And you know what? That's a great precaution. If Aristovax is going to stay here while we are gone, I think I'd feel comfortable with that.
Well,
What do we do if the dragon is going to do that?
you could talk to
I don't know.
But
you can talk to the dragon. Talk to
I can talk to the dragon. I'm really good at negotiating with her.
I will hog tie you to the bed and leave you there. No.
I'll tie him to the bottom of one of those rafts they were using to go to the tree.
I like that.
The bottom.
I'm just going to rewatch this to watch Brian's long blink when I said I'm going to negotiate with the dragon, and he's like, "No."
Well, before we make any plans, we should probably gather more intelligence about where we're going and what will be expected, because we do know that we're supposed to have some sort of gift.
Well,
What
I
would
and
probably be
and Brian.
after not the gift.
Well, yeah, well.
Actually,
I think I had a 24 on a roll. I don't think we'll be able to get much more research out of anything. I think we're going to know as much about the phase we're going to know. Yeah.
Well, maybe the Bartholomew will be able to tell us some more.
Yes.
But
Roll with it. By the way, we have a new product placement this evening. Send everybody a message,
Oh,
except you, Brian, because you can't look at messages because it screws your thing up for some reason.
yeah.
Grenades.
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 Grenades, not grenades. Well, that sounds terrible.
Well, I got those too.
Oh, okay.
Here you go, Brian. I'll send it to you. Grenades.
Neil agreed.
In the chat
good.
Okay, great. All right, so you're gonna wait for Aravistrax to arrive. The egg is once the egg's secure, then you're planning on doing. Depending on what the dragon does, that's where you're putting your whatever eggs in your basket. It depends really upon what Aravistrax does. Totally get it. Okay, cool. Alrighty. So are you going to let people inside the castle know what the plan is, or is this all hush hush, secret, don't tell anybody anything?
We really need to let the queen.
Yeah, Queen Yolanda is or no, what's
Probably
the
our
queen?
marshal too.
Yep. We probably should be very upfront with what our plan is
Okay.
with
Right.
the dragon and possibly go into the Fey realm.
Right.
Talking to the two of them, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
And,
you'll want. Yeah. So you'll definitely
Sure.
want. Yeah, you'll definitely want to talk to the queen to let her know what the new plan is. Being that the last time that the dragon was in Instead, it set a bunch of stuff on fire and killed a bunch of people. So you know, it might be a good idea.
It didn't
Not
kill
so
her.
much a new plan, but the next step. The next step we're going to take. Not so much a new plan. Our plan was to get the egg here. I think we've completed that. Next step, see if we can have another nice dinner with Shira, Queen Yolanda. Probably, well, I don't know. Well, if we need to have more Ivy, I don't know.
I've got a question for Moore's Ivy.
Okay.
Of course you do, right?
Okay. So yeah, I mean, you can definitely get an audience with the queen, Melda, Moore's Ivy, Shira. The only person that you probably wouldn't get is, of course, Val is in Bissell, so he is unreachable at this point in time. So that's.
And we don't want to see Shanisha.
Oh, you send Taisha? Yeah. You probably don't want to meet with her right now. Maybe later.
Well, it would be as simple as sending her a missive saying, "Hey, we're going to have a meeting. We'd like you to be here." I'm kind of down with that, but I don't know that Asenath needs to be involved.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah. I mean, she might be present, but there's probably not really she doesn't really play a major part at this point. Of course, who knows? Alrighty, so you all return to let's see, by the time that you arrive, I think I remember the timing. I think you guys got
mid-afternoon.
It was like mid-afternoon. So if you return to the castle, and you can go ahead and have an audience with Queen Yolanda. So as you all walk back in, of course, there's guards. You can see, like I said, it's very busy here. There's a lot of repair work going on in the city. There have been, of course, the bodies of the dead have been, taken care of. There are flowers heaped upon, stones of the brave as you make your way once again into the castle there at Instead. Doesn't take you very long, of course, to get introduced once again. As you're standing out in the hallway before the two large doors, as the guards pull them open, and you once again can see inside the gigantic throne room of Queen Yolanda of Celene. And you can see that Yolanda is here. Shira is absent because she is actually still at the tree. Melda is there, as well as Moore's Ivy. And so they're all standing up there conversing. And as you all walk in, they immediately, the Queen and Yolanda are, on their feet very, very quickly, and are, because they have not seen you since the, I believe it was, I don't think they haven't seen you since the attack, if I remember right. It's been a couple of weeks.
No, we saw them earlier.
Oh, you did see them.
Yeah, I thought we got.
Oh, you did. Okay,
yeah.
let's roll that back. Okay, so, but yes, once again, they are happy to see that you have arrived safely once again. And,
is Era Vistarax in human form with us?
No, she will be arriving the next day.
Yeah,
and you're supposed to meet her at the
timeline.
Yeah.
This is kind of the warning. This is the warning round.
Yeah.
I thought we had dinner with them, clarified things. Then we would have to sort things out with communication with Aravistarax, so I thought we would probably be somewhere that morning because I thought we'd already laid the dragon egg to rest. That's what I had said earlier.
No, yeah, I hadn't got that far. Yeah. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I think the last thing that you had actually talked to them about was it rescuing the egg? It's kind of hard to. Like I said, there was like a whole month that we didn't play, so it was like.
The last thing that we spoke about was to establish, may the egg come to town. How do we go about that?
Right.
We've done those steps, so I guess really we're going in to talk to them about the next step.
Okay.
After, but
okay.
Yeah, we need to make sure that we're meeting the dragon outside of the royal.
Yeah, because I thought that was the reason why we're meeting her outside, because we haven't yet discussed it.
Right.
Well, we'd already discussed it with it was Yolanda's idea of having her go land there.
No, that was Shira's idea.
Shira?
Yeah, that was Shira's idea.
I thought that talk was during dinner.
No.
Nope.
We went to her special tree, and she grew bushes all around us.
Yep. Remember the big old hedgerow? Yeah. We're getting confused.
And introduced herself to Yolanda and established that we were all going to have a dinner and talk about this. That's why. When we first came here, we came from the aviary down, stood in line, waited to be introduced, and said we need to speak in private. Perhaps we could have a dinner and have Shira there, and I thought that was all okay.
Yeah, I think that we kind of established that, but I don't think we passed anything else on after that, because we said we had to go to the tree to speak with Shira.
Yeah,
trying to juggle where we're at in that timeline. All right, so we are.
Yeah, you guys.
Now,
you all avoided once you landed, turned over your griffins. You immediately went to the tree.
No, we immediately checked in with Yolanda.
Mm-hmm. No, we did do that.
Did you?
But I don't think we passed any. Yeah.
Okay.
We spoke with them, but we didn't give them any details.
We didn't address anything because it was a public forum. We said we would. Yeah. It would be better to have a say dinner.
Yeah. Okay.
And I thought we'd gotten to that already.
I'll have to.
All right.
I'm gonna have to go back and replay this last episode. Okay.
Crazy week.
Yep. Alrighty. So, so as you all walk in, you see the Queen, Melda, Moore's Ivy, are all present, and the Queen, stands and says, "So, I hope you have. I guess you have everything in hand."
Yes.
I had double meeting. Sorry.
I said, "Well, this is good. I'm glad to hear this."
I think we have a framework established. I think we should probably go through it with you to get your okay. We have, I guess, Shira's okay. Then we have some steps after that we need to take care of, and that's kind of a moving target, but we're working on it.
She says, "Oh, that's wonderful. But I also have some good news for you as well." As she turns very quickly, and you see Melda hand the Queen. It looks like a scroll. It's in like a map case, but it's kind of bulging. And it says, "I believe these are reports from the front. Lord Calix, I believe that you would be quite interested in these. I hope you did not mind that we took a little time to peruse them. Of course, if you look over at Melda, and she just gives you this slight smile as she hands the satchel over to you.
No problem at all. We are allies.
She said, "So, and it does also seem that there is some private mail in there as well. I believe, for Sir Tomas. We did not look through those, Tomas. Do not worry. It did not seem to be important to the war effort. It seems that they were addressed from, I could only guess, a relative.
Why do I feel like Forrest Gump when he got all his letters sent back from Jenny? Like, oh, I'm in Vietnam and I didn't get anything. And hey, by the way, Albie, check your messages, Albie. Oh, so what letters do I have? Is it mom, dad, mom?
Thank you.
Postcard from Mount. What the fuck are you doing? I don't know.
So,
Corona.
after the queen hands all these things off to you, she says, "So, what is our next move? What do you have in mind?"
Are we in a closed session right now? There's nobody else in here.
Yeah,
but us?
This isn't like open court. This was definitely a private function.
Ed, you're daft.
Oh boy. Hold on to your hat. It's gonna get interesting now.
Oh, your queen, your highness.
Majesty.
Yeah, Majesty
We had
would
returned.
probably work better.
Your Majesty. Yes, Your Majesty. We had reached. We had, as you will aware, we traveled to go deal with the dragon. We have. We actually have gained her as an ally. I know this is surprising to you, especially after the destruction that she caused. However, and I'm not sure if we told her earlier, we believe that she was being coerced by the enemy, by Ket, as they had one of her dragon eggs.
The last.
And had destroyed the others. Yeah, her last dragon egg. So she was being coerced. My friends and I we actually rescued the egg from Ket, killing the barbarian lord. Oh, what was his name?
Lothar.
Lothar the Barbarian.
And destroying his inn.
Yes, burning an inn down. And now she is our ally, and she is agreed, and he actually also has given some compensation for giving a large portion of her hoard to us to give to the people of Celene and Bissell. But she's also going to turn her attention to Ket, the front lines.
So you can see her face lifts slightly, and she's, "That is amazing, Lord Calyx. How is it that you were able to do such a wonderful thing? You've taken an enemy and have turned it into an asset. How? I'm just so impressed." She quickly looks over at Melda and just gives her sort of a knowing, sort of a nod. And you see Melda sort of blushes slightly.
No.
I
never do this alone.
So, of course, I see. This is wonderful.
There's also one other matter with the dragon.
Yes.
To ensure that this doesn't happen again, in case Ket comes looking for the egg, we had decided to hide it.
This is
I had already spoken with your mother, and she has agreed to take the egg to hide it in the grove. And I'm just hoping that you will agree to this.
She looks at you a little. So the egg is to remain here and instead.
Yes. Until a time when everything is safe again. When Ket is finally defeated, and possibly when the dragon is born, when the egg hatches.
I see. she says, "This worries me, but I do trust that the Queen Mother does have a way of being able to protect this egg that no other would be able to. So I understand this. This is not a bad idea. Um, I will consult with Shira to
I'm going to
get
look up
more
with the
information.
messages in hand. I'm going to have some messages in hand, look over them, and go, yes, it should be a great boon to the elves to have such a glorious guardian. Let me go back to
Interesting.
perusing.
Yeah. So
From
Timble, as you're going through this satchel of stuff, you've pulled out the reports from the front. You have pulled out at least 3 letters for Tomas, and you've pulled out at least 1 letter for Grenna. Okay.
Why do
you.
I envision a midget walking around going,
So,
I got to go to the bathroom. Maybe I'll lose a few of these letters in the bag.
drop them in your bag of
Yes,
your latrine bag.
my bag of yes.
Bag of. Okay. So, with that.
Any other letters of note?
No, that's all you see. Like I said, there's definitely a handful of reports that you can go through, which are pretty good. But
I'm not
like I
as
said,
petty as I seem.
okay.
so that you're not as pretty as you seem?
So
Petty. Petty. It's sort of a descriptor for Sir Tomas, I think.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand you. It sounds like you're getting a Kansas accent.
So that the queen once again asks, so we will be able to meet with this dragon at some point in time to discuss plans, I would hope.
We have decided on a location for the dragon to meet, and then we will bring the egg here. If you are willing, and I will ask Aristovax, her name, if she'd be okay to come and meet with you.
I think I would like that very much. I think it would be good to at least and she is not coming in her
No.
dragon form, I hope.
No.
Understandable. That's very good.
There used to be something called sense motive. Is that still in play? I didn't see it. Well, yeah,
Insight is what you're looking for.
Yeah, insight's what
Insight.
they call it now. Thank you. It used to be called sense motive. I've got
Okay.
18.
Okay.
Does she seem like she's legit, like looking forward to meeting him, not in a nefarious way from that, or
It seems like she is looking forward, but she seems also very apprehensive. This is you from what you can gather, this may have been the first time that Queen Yolanda has actually met a dragon, so it's probably something that is outside of her wheelhouse.
it's more like fear versus like, oh, we're gonna extract revenge kind of thing.
Yes. No.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay.
Brian,
Yes.
I have a question. When a dragon takes a humanoid form, do they have any of that weirdness? I've seen much of the art and the design become that of a humanoid, but with little telltale dragon signs, the slit eyes, maybe a little scaly, like dry skin here and there, if you will. That's my question. Is that something that's true, or do they become more perfectly in the form of that humanoid they're taking?
No, usually they do have slight differences. Like you said, the slit pupils. They may have, instead of like eyelids, they have nictitating membranes. And it's a lot more like other types of creatures. Their skin might be kind of an off colorish. They may have horns that look a lot more like tiefling, but they're not actually tieflings. It's just the like the bony protuberances that appear above their like their brow bones. Um, Now, I believe I posted a picture of Aravistorax, probably on our Facebook page, which kind of gives you an idea of what she looks like. And I'll try to make sure to post that elsewhere so other people can see it.
I will be making sure that I bring along my disguise kit.
Okay. And she'll probably also need some sort of clothing. Yeah. Because, yeah. I mean, she could probably create her own. And she is, I mean, she does have magical abilities. So, they're very,
I can bring clothes for her.
In my free time, I will go down and see if I can find a tailor who can quickly put something together for her.
Yeah.
I guess that's another question. Is she able to modify her form? Could she make herself look more elven, or is it just that's the way she looks?
That's just the way. That's the her human her more humanoid form. Yeah.
Okay.
I will also get boots, belt, the normal accoutrement for her.
Okay. Because she was quite tall, wasn't she?
Yeah, she is probably more closer to about. I believe we said that she was like 6'7". I mean, she was a really tall woman.
Yeah, Kellis was 6'4", so I remember. Yeah, she was supposed to be really tall.
Yeah, she's really tall. So
yeah, anything over 5 foot's tall. I just can't be bothered.
Yeah, gnomes. Okay, so very good. So the Queen says, "Well, that is great news. I'm very excited to meet this Aravistorax. Is there anything else that you
Where
have?
would you like to meet her? Should we bring her here, or should we, or would you like to meet her before she comes to the city, just to be more comfortable with the situation? I don't know what would make you feel more at ease.
I think what I would like is that when she brings her egg to the tree, to the grove itself, I think I would like to meet her there.
Okay. We will endeavor to ensure that you're notified and that you can join us at the grove, and whatever ceremony there may be, maybe we should have a few meats and drinks on hand, and it is a rare occasion.
Yes.
I will do my best to try to remember it and see if I can put it to I don't know. Let me see. I'll see what I can do.
Okay. Is there anything else? I don't want to keep
Do we
you.
want to talk to her about our next step, our next plan?
Probably should,
Okay.
but we haven't talked to Aravistorax, so maybe the discussion
We
should
still,
be on the way back to the city.
we still haven't decided what our next plan is.
The ability to talk to her and see if she would stay here a little longer, and then see if we can get them to host her. I think that's what we're talking about, the next plan, because that's the important part as to what we're going to endeavor to do.
Okay.
Yeah, I was actually thinking either the Fae or the Hag, but yeah, that you make a great point. Let's get this done first.
Yeah, let's get them together and let them feel more comfortable with each other. We do need to facilitate that, Master Tomas. Have that in
believe that
mind.
Lord Tomas. Thank you.
Lord Tomas.
I don't know that I've signed off on that yet.
That's okay.
Sure.
I believe that's it for now, Your Majesty.
Wonderful.
Do you have any questions, desires in this process that we need to be aware of? Is Moore's Ivy here with us?
Yeah, he's standing right there.
And I'll turn to Moore's Ivy and say, and Master Moore's Ivy, do you have any questions? I want to make sure that everyone is at ease.
He says, So the information that you've gathered concerning the princess and Taisha, so is this something that you are still interested in pursuing? I have people trying to ferret out more information of where she might actually be at this time.
Most definitely, we will be tackling that.
This is good. Yeah, and you can see the Queen is also very attentive when this topic comes up. And Melda also is kind of sort of on her toes about that as well, because of the threat that Sentai actually presents. So he says, well, this is good. Any information that I am able to glean, I will make sure to pass it along to you all. Hopefully this will
Anything that
help.
we learn, we will do the same.
Yes.
I think the open sharing of information on this subject, I think, is good for everyone present, at least. I mean, we need to be on our toes.
Indeed. He says, well, this is good. That's all I have. I was just wondering what the next step was. But thank you.
We do have another matter that we may have to deal with, but there's too many things in motion. We have to work on things, and then we'll know where we're at. I do apologize for being
one step at a time.
Yeah, it's just so much happening that we have to be aware.
Of course. I mean,
the glancing over the notes, all good news from Bissell?
Okay, well, you haven't had really a chance to read through each and every one of them because you've
just
been in the meeting.
Cursory little look looks good.
It does. It looks like there are some excellent reports from Bissell. So that's at least heartening to read. And so the Queen says, well, let us know when Visitor X arrives, and we shall make sure that she is greeted appropriately. Thank you all so again for your service. And she immediately returns back to the throne. Melda comes down and walks up to you, Kellex, and says, well, I think
I give her a loving embrace.
She returns it, of course. As she she kind of turns a little sheepishly and looks at her mother, who once again gives her that smile, and you all kind of get the idea that it's now time to leave the throne room. As once again, Moore's Ivy and the Queen start to talk about other issues, and Melda walks out with you. She says so.
Well, that's the last we're going to see of Kellex today.
Yeah, and exit stage.
Where did he go? He was just here.
I'm not even going to get into the discussions I would have had as a kid about elves and tantric sex. I think he'll be back in 2 minutes.
Anyway, Moore's Ivy, he's still there, right?
Yes. Did you want to ask him a question?
Yeah, I have a shop question for you.
Okay.
So, you know, you've been here for a while. You're more experienced in the arts than I am. I have a question.
Sure.
How does one shield an anti-magic shell?
Shield and anti-magic shell.
So one can carry it on one's person and have it available.
Like a spell grenade?
That's exactly what it is. a spell disruptor grenade.
Oh. Well, I
I
mean,
think
you have to look at it. I mean, familiars can deliver spells for their casters.
Yeah.
So you're actually casting this on
No.
an object.
I have an object. The
Okay.
object has a permanent magic and anti-magic, and it has a radius of 5 feet.
Oh, okay.
So what I'm looking for is something to enclose that object that prevents its effects.
Oh.
danger. He's creating nuclear fusion. Danger.
Yeah, not yet. Leave me alone.
He says that is something that I don't believe I've ever explored. So you have a personal anti-magic shield device.
Object.
Well,
Yes.
object, yes. Yeah, because right now, if you have it on you,
I would be screwed to try cast any spell.
yeah. Well, I believe though there's something special about it. Is that the spells that are coming from inside of it are not would not actually work because it's an anti-magic orb that completely surrounds you.
Which is
So,
why I'm looking for something to shield the
oh
effect.
yes, you can actually put them. No, you can't put them there either. Where does one put such an object?
The only way I was thinking about it was that there would have to be a mechanical device that
Mm-hmm.
would, and the properties of the device itself, the intrinsic properties as opposed to magical properties.
Ah, this is a very good question. I will have to do some research, but I'm sure that there is some way of being able to do that. Where do you have it now?
It's hidden.
Oh, okay. Well, that's understandable. I didn't think you had it like on your person because then it would render you relatively useless.
Indeed.
And this would be different how?
Oh, ouch. Oh,
Prestidigitation. Grinna now tastes something terrible in her mouth.
No, Timble and I are having a disagreement. We're ignoring you.
Timble and you are having a disagreement. But he says, so Master Yarn, it does seem that you have you've come to me with a definitely a conundrum. I believe this item though is specifically made for obviously it's used maybe for someone who doesn't use magic. It's supposed to shield someone who may be attacked by magic, and it's a personal shield. Really, it would be a hindrance to a mage, wizards, warlocks, sorcerers. But if it was carried by somebody who didn't have to worry about that, that's fine. But you're looking for a contraption to be able to contain it. So it would not have an effect. That's weird. I have no idea. Interesting. That is a conundrum. Okay, well, I will try to find something. Of course, I do not have one of these items personally. So, but if you happen to have, maybe that's something that you might want to, if you have a lab of your own. I'm sure by now you've already been given an office in the Crystal Citadel, I'm sure that they probably have something there to you could at least experiment with to
Would
see.
lead lining it suffice?
I don't know about lead.
It would have to be a material that had the intrinsic anti-magic factor, because it would have to be anti-magic to control the anti-magic of the
The magic of the anti-magic.
yeah. 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 Now,
Wow.
out of character, I've been thinking about this for like 4 or 5 weeks.
Oh, God.
Been keeping up at night.
He wakes up at 3 o'clock in the morning thinking he has the answer, and he's like, "Fuck." Wow. Well. Thank you for like now burdening me with this thing.
All part of the service, man. All part of the service.
Well, thanks. Okay.
I like Kippy's idea.
What's Kippy's idea?
Magic Faraday cage.
Magic Faraday cage. That would be cool.
Made of
Well,
lead.
Have to create
Made of
one.
lead.
That'd be cool. Okay, so we'll have to come back to this.
Yes.
Brian, there is episode 1, us discussing the anti-magical or precedence effect of a Faraday cage made of lead.
Okay.
Episode 1.
It sounds like a boring people to tears. Episode 1.
That's what makes it so perfect. We get it out of the way.
Yeah.
We only step up from there.
Yeah. We set the bar real low. So that, yeah, I love it. It's a great idea. Okay. So we'll circle back to that. That sounds wonderful.
It's going on Twitter tomorrow, so.
Oh, this is good. Okay, because there may be more astute minds out there that might be like, hey, let's try this. Yeah. Let's just chuck it in a portable hole and see what it does. I mean, fine, who knows?
There's shit everywhere.
So nothing new for us.
No,
Okay. So
nothing new at all.
okay, so
That is cool.
you guys are now out in the hallway. All the questions have been answered or at least pondered. And so, Timble, you're going through this bag of goodies, and you pull out, like I said, the reports from the field. You have the 3 letters for Tomas, and then you also have 1 letter for Grenna.
I passed those letters along to them.
Okay, very good. So Grenna, you take a look at the envelope, and it's actually from your parents.
Good.
So
They're not-
yeah.
You
So
never
they're
call, you never write.
No, it was basically you have some explaining to do, Lucy.
so you open up the envelope, and inside, once you pull the letter out, you can smell that there is like the wildflowers that your mom likes to grow around the house. She's actually got like some of the petals pressed in, so it's this is kind of normal. You've seen this before. And she you read that said, dearest Grenna, we were so happy to see your letter. We do understand that you might have some questions, and we feel that it would probably be in your best interest that if you can visit, it would be better if you sat down with us so that we could talk to you about them. From what I gather, you have met your uncle Vitram, and probably have figured out that there's some discrepancies in our story. And we're sorry about that. We did not want to keep the truth from you this long, but this is just, from what you know, this is just the tip of an iceberg, so to speak. We await your your return, and said, with much love, Gita and Regis Babble Boots.
Wow, they didn't even sign up mom and dad. That's not a good sign.
Yeah, it's like, there's something's wrong.
What language was that in?
Gnomish.
Babble Bootian.
Babble Booty.
I'm reading. Oh,
Aw.
I got strap horns.
that's not good.
Okay, so Tomas, you have 3 letters. You have one from your mom, you have one from your wife, and then you have and you have one from the acting mayor of Marydale, Dostrin Fens. So you're kind of a little puzzled by that.
Looks like you got to put some bitches in line.
So which one do you want to read first? Of course, you're muted, so can't hear shit.
Oh, you can't hear shit. I'm going to read the second one first.
The one, okay, so the one from Lily.
You didn't think I'd didn't think I'd randomize it.
No, that's cool. Okay. So, so you open it and it says, Dearest husband, I have been very fortunate to have got I have a meeting with your parents. I'm actually in the yeomanry at this time in Singleton, visiting with them. They are very...
Immediately I look up and see what's the date.
You're looking at like 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, that's the exact answer that you should have. Reach for a beer.
Said and she said, while your father was a little standoffish at first, your mother has been extremely kind and generous, and I have been extremely fortunate to have been in their presence over these last few weeks. I just wanted to let you know that if you happen to return to Marydale at this time, I have kind of handed off some of the responsibilities to others in town. The old 97 is still standing and it is making you money. I did bring money with me from the tavern. So I've entrusted it to your mom, who said that she will make sure that you get it. Said, but it has been some time since I have seen you, and I would either like to come to where you are at, or you could come back to me. It would be, I think, something we need to once again kindle. I mean, you are my husband, so we need to. We should. And she said, hugs and kisses, XOXO, whatever. And, it said, your wife, Lily. And it's like big old flowery script. It's very pleasant.
How much room is around Shirley's grave?
Shirley's grave? There's actually...
There's room for another marker if she comes.
Well, I said...
Quick.
Here's the question. I either failed or I incredibly succeeded with an 8 on an insight check. She's pregnant.
With your child.
It has been some time.
Yeah, it's been. We should be.
I mean, you guys did knock boots on wedding night, so.
Yeah. So here's Lord Tomas in the field.
Yeah, you sit there like thinking, like, how many weeks along is this Chica? This Chica. So
my current stance with an 8 on an insight check is, I think she's pregnant. Quickly, I rip open letter number 1.
Okay, so So yeah, your this is dearest son. Greetings. I hope this letter finds you well.
Wait. By
Yes.
him calling me dearest son and saying greetings, is this normal for him?
No, this is from your mom.
Oh, sorry. That is my dad. My dad.
Yeah.
No, the
No.
weird mayor is my mom. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dearest son.
Mayor was the
Ooh,
third.
dearest son.
Yeah.
Dearest son. Does this mean mad or insight?
Sitting her reading into it. She said, greetings. Hope this finds you well. We have been very, very fortunate to have, once we found that you were married from your last letter, which has been some time ago, we decided that it would be in the family's best interest to have her come and stay with us instead of staying in that dreadful little farming village, which you seem to have taken up some sort of residence. I mean, you can just the disdain in the in that last sentence is like, oh man, she did not approve. She didn't approve of the bar, the tavern. But you're like, okay,
Really, approve versus expect with
yeah,
an 18 insight there. I mean, it's kind of what they should have expected.
yeah,
This is like reading letters to my parents back in the 80s. Shit.
yeah, pretty much. Stuff you got when you were in the service. Like, okay.
No, Glenn's over shaking. No, it's not like stuff Ed got in the service.
I'm not mentioning the first sergeant. Just not going there.
Oops.
Yeah, well.
Okay. So, yeah, and it goes on a little bit. She does mention your dad and has been working with the nobles to harness the flammable gases that you had mentioned in the Rushmore swamp, and there has been kind of a windfall when it comes to some profits that have been made from the harnessing of these gases. So once again, that's also adding to your clutch of gold that your tavern has brought in. So that's yeah. So she continues on with that line for a little bit, telling about the rest of the family. Everybody's fine. Hoping that you eventually do get to visit. She said that at this point in time, they are planning on keeping Lily for at least another 2 months. But you're not really too sure why.
I'm going to come back to that. I actually, before I shoot my wad and throw a really great insight check, I want to hear the rest of the letter.
Okay. And,
I believe you've already done my watch.
Okay. Yeah, but and then she just kind of wraps it up from there. It's kind of like, hope all is well. Hope you were able to make it home soon. It's like, with much love, Mom. Be like, Mom.
So as I reread that letter, am I able to tell? Are there any innuendos or coded messages within those? Like, is she trying to tip me off? Like, we brought Lily here because we didn't feel she was safe, or it's because she truly didn't like the little fucking scabby ass town I married into.
Yeah, I think it was more that it was she didn't really approve. At first, they were a little shocked that you got married, being that they had been trying to arrange a marriage for you, and you kind of pulled the rug out from under them. And by doing so, that angered your father until he started to see the turnaround of profit from your gas venture, which he's still kind of a little bit like, we put in all this work to marry this boy off, but he's finally kind of coming around to the idea, being that Lily is a very lovely woman and that you did good. But of course you also have to remember they still believe that you still have the the hideous scar that once was on your
Totally get.
face.
I
Everybody,
look. I
yeah.
look like Ben Affleck now. She's probably saying he's so dreamy, and they're like, "Really? Are you serious? Are you retarded? A little slow."
She married you, man.
Ah, all right. Setting that one aside, looking at the mayor. Letter from the mayor.
Okay,
Currently, better
Dostron
not be a
Fens.
tax letter.
Okay, so
He's
this
the
Dostron
father of
Fens.
your child. No.
Oh, he's dead.
No,
Oh, the new man.
I'm already figuring out if she's in court where my family is, and she comes up pregnant out of sorts. I'm gonna go kill my brother in a duel.
okay, just for shits and giggles. That's nice.
No, because
Okay,
it's probably his.
because
So
it's
anyway,
probably his. Okay, so yeah, so this one is to Squire Tomas, because he still does not know that you have been knighted.
I'll pass. Oh, knighted. I've got a peerage now. What are you talking
Well,
about?
that's true. Yeah. So he says, I just wanted to let you know, I have went ahead and have assumed the duties of mayor, being that Lily has decided to relocate temporarily. I do bring some disturbing news. Not too long, and I don't know if Lily was able to give this information to you, but there was a strange individual who appeared not too long after you all had mysteriously, I guess, teleported out of the inn. A very strange creature that came at night, very short, very. It was kind of hard to tell. At first, we thought he was a goblin, but actually, we believe he was much more dangerous. He did not stay. He did not cause any trouble, but he definitely was looking for you and your friends. He did come to the inn, and over a period of several nights, people would see this hideous greenish face peering through the windows of the inn and several of the homes in the village. But after about 4 or 5 days, this hideous creature fled or left the area. Just wanted to let you know. Thank you very much for everything that you've done for Marydale, killing all those horrible vampires. In your service, Dostern Fens, acting mayor, Marydale, Sterridge.
I don't think I'm very
Toby's
concerned.
turned into our own golem, huh?
I'm not concerned about Toby so much anymore. His level of undead is Peeping Tom.
So, I have a question. Shit. Thank you, dear.
You should, dumb dog. Okay. Based on that, got it.
I know what I'm going to say. We've been gaining renown, correct? I mean,
Yeah.
there are stories about us going everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
What are you talking about? Every time we stop, who do you think is singing stories about us?
I don't know. I'm just burning down inns.
Oh well.
And you got to think
when
that
you're
most
in
of-
when you're in them.
Doesn't bother me, man.
it's the middle north, but it's all being our biggest acts are around the north. It's not as if much of it will have gotten down too far, too loudly. I'm sure somewhere between Ket and Bissell, we're just shadows, ghosts that show up and shit happens.
Burn in, man.
Real quick, Brian. On the dates on those letters, obviously my mother's is dated post Lily going to the yeomanry. When is the date on the letter from the mayor? In how recently is that? Is it that Toby's in the area?
Okay, so that's why he was mentioning that he didn't know if Lily had told you about that, because Lily was still
Right.
in town, but she did not mention it in her letter.
Ooh.
Looking back over my mother's letters or Lily's letters, I'm looking for any innuendos or anything like that that might say, "Danger, Will Robinson, danger."
You didn't pick up anything like that.
Okay, obviously not in Lily. I get that. I mean, I barely could identify Spot in 4 pictures, but my mom's I did a little bit better, and with the mayors, I'm like, man, is something going on? Got it. I know what I'm doing.
Okay, cool.
And Ed, when you get
Nope.
a chance, look in the Princess Celene chat. The reason for
got
your
it.
windfall for the swamp gas.
Okay.
The Princess Celene chat's the last thing that you posted about the
Oh no, not that chat. The group chat.
group chat. Oh, you mean in Roll20?
Yeah, no. Yeah, don't worry about it. It's the direct message where all of us are together, not in the server chat.
Oh, it's not mine, so okay, whatever. I'll figure it out. Maybe it's something good, bad. He's got a 1-track mind right now. I have a plan. Brian, be prepared.
Okay. So it's like a threat. Be prepared. Fuck.
Ed, you didn't get that little note from your dad that says, "Oh, I see why you've married the little tart. You knocked her up. Good for you."
Well, no, I envision it's more along the lines of my brother knocked her up. That's why we got to talk. And Toby's afoot. So do.
And he was there when Toby was there. Maybe it's not your baby.
If you shared that part with us, I would like to know. Let me tell you.
can have your Fey baby.
Because that means Toby is following our direction, and based upon that date, don't know when that was.
Yeah.
Oh, other than the letter from my wife, I give both the letters to everybody to kind of to read.
Okay.
Okay.
So you can kind of triangulate yourself there. Obviously, the letter from my wife is not open for so. My mom,
So Toby is. At what date was Toby in Marydale? How far?
It was probably pretty long ago, because it was like right after, probably like 2 or 3 days after you all had disappeared through the portal in the floor of the inn.
Great.
Yeah.
We gotta be thinking about more. Now we got 3.
Oh, Toby's always been.
I know he's been out there,
Toby's
but he was at a distance. Doesn't
He was
seem
quiet. Yeah.
so distant now.
Yeah, but you also have to remember Toby was the one who broke into the the temple of Pelik, in Pelik, and took those items.
Yeah, but
from the
we didn't know
catacombs.
that until you just told us. We suspected, but we didn't know that until you just told us.
Yeah, you. Well, wait. I figured you guys had already figured that one out.
Yes, but you confirmed it.
Figured what out?
You just confirmed it.
What did he just?
That Toby stole the stuff out of the cathedral.
Well, yeah, we knew that.
Thank you, Grenna. Thank you.
We suspected that. We didn't know it.
Okay, Grenna, you get a point of inspiration. Thank you.
My parents love me again.
No. No, they don't. No, that's a lie. No, your gnomish parents love you.
But are they the ones she thinks they are?
I thought one of them was a halfling.
No, that was her uncle.
Ah,
Yeah, Uncle Vitram, who was not a gnome.
That is an interesting family tree.
Yeah, it's a little
You
weird.
can branch out a little bit.
It's a little weird.
There's branching and then there's transplanting.
Well, nobody really in this group is saying
There's
anything. I mean,
there's
human and a gnome going after elves.
There's grafting.
At least the
All right,
night.
I'm gonna put that down as a skill. I guess I must be some sort of tree surgeon.
Tree
So
surgeon.
I have that skill. If I'm grafting, that's what
Okay.
it is.
Cool. All right. So the reports from the front. Then these are extremely, like, for you, Calix. This is like good stuff. So you found out that not only has the soldiers of Bissell and your allies have not only been able to halt the Ket, they have been able to push the Ket back to the gates of Shajé, which that's a big deal. Even though right now Shajé is still under the control of Ket and Zyph forces, they have lost ground. And you're thinking now, on top of this information, once Araviscerex comes into play, there will be a much better chance. Destroyed supply lines by a dragon will definitely help. Starve armies, and hopefully drive them back to the north.
So
they're
once we confirm and Rusavax agrees to the plan with the egg, well, she already agreed. Everything's kosher there. I'm gonna send a sending spell, or at least maybe ask Kiffy to help me with that, and just to let what's his name? The guy left in charge. Let him know that a dragon is going to be the dragon is going to return, but as an ally. So,
you're talking about the elf.
You're talking about Silvar. Yeah.
Silvar, there you go.
Yeah. So, yeah. Okay, yeah, you guys can easily do that.
Yep.
Well, I think you could also get a message to Val, to Silvar, quite easily here in Celene.
Oh, yep, sure enough.
Yeah. Okay, so
we've got them pushed out of the Swordfells, and that far, yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yep, yeah, that is that river that I don't know what it's called, but that river that goes through Sajé that comes out of the mountains down. Yeah. So that's where the front is.
Okay. Any word in the letters about the dwarves?
The dwarves?
Yeah, didn't we ask Kiffy's clan to help? And
yeah. That was part of the when we set and did the war council meeting. Yeah, there were definitely dwarvish forces did join with the humans and elves and everybody else that happens to live in, and of course mostly when it comes to the dwarves themselves, these once the body of Angus Plowbender had been returned to the dwarven halls, it enraged a lot of the dwarves there, being that he was very well known and a hero, and so it swelled the numbers of dwarven volunteers. So that also helped push the front back towards the north. So you definitely
mess with a bunch of pissed off drunk dwarves. Right. So.
Yeah. So I mean, when you kind of come to think of it, there's several countries that several nations that the people of Bissell have to thank for delivering them from the hands of the Ket Empire and their allies.
Definitely.
Cool. All right. Anything else? Or we're gonna push forward.
Push forward.
All right, cool. So, by the time you've done all of this, it is getting evening time. And once again, you all have been invited. Melda, make sure that you realize that you're invited to dinner with the royal family and the advisors. So you all can to do that. Now, it's not a meeting; it's actually just a dinner. So if there's questions you have with them, of course you can always ask them. But if it's really more of a social occasion, celebrating the great news of the forces of Bissell and her allies, and also with the newly arrived ally in the form of Aravistarax. So this is it's a very jovial, very happy sort of dinner. So
I'm going to decline.
okay, you don't have to go.
Okay. I'm going to go looking at Santaisha's rooms.
Okay.
Splitting the party, are we?
Well, I'm letting y'all know what I'm doing. It's like, this is what I'm going to go do. And the reason for it is I'm trying to find an object that is associated with her, preferably a hairbrush, something like that. So anybody wants to come with me, please. But I'm just going to be going and looking. I'll be looking on the floor, looking to see if I can find raised strand of hairs. Just something.
Okay.
Fingernails.
Okay.
You know, I'm reminded of the movie in Basketball where they go through the mom's drawer or the girl's drawers and they find the mom's vibrator.
I would remind you that there was the hidden hall that went to the queen's domicile.
Yeah,
Was
The-
that I thought that was a niche that was hidden. It wasn't a hallway. It was kind of like a niche that somebody was hiding in.
I think there was a hidden hallway that went up to it because she hid there, and there
Yeah.
was some signs that she had been hiding there for a while. I don't know if she dropped something or that. Now that stuff's probably been cleaned up, the hall mortared over, but if it's not, you might be able to find something there.
Didn't we stuff that niche with something in there? Because kind of disgusting.
Probably Glenn. Knowing Glenn.
Okay. So Yarn, you decide not to have dinner and you go to the to Sintaisha's quarters, which are now have been mostly been gone over with a fine tooth comb by the guard and also by Morzadi. But as you are going through some of these, some of the boxes and things, and her, the chest of drawers there, you are able to find a brush, and you're taking a look at this thing, and you notice first off that it is extremely dusty, and it's in the very very back of this drawer. It looks like it has not been used in some time.
Okay.
As is a lot of things in this one drawer, it looks like it's almost like a time capsule, where there are things in there that you would kind of think, well, this is kind of strange for an adult. An adult elvish woman to pretty much hold on to. Just strange knickknacks and things of that nature. But like I said, there is actually, it looks like nothing in this drawer has been touched for probably 50 years or more.
Are there anything? Is there anything else within that within the drawer that would be specifically personal?
Oh yeah. There are definitely personal items. Like I said, there's a hairbrush. There is it looks like a bow that would probably be worn in the hair. And you also find a pair of, it looks to be what you can gather are reading glasses. But they look very, very, they look really kind of odd. You've never seen Sintaisha wear glasses, but they are also in there. And you can see that one of the lenses is shattered.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you hold it up to your face, and then you have to roll a saving throw for
Name, move breath.
your
All right.
Okay.
I'll take those things, take them into a small sack or small
Okay.
pouch,
Okay.
and return to my rooms,
Cool.
where I will cast Identify on all of them.
Okay. Okay, so does Identify also let them know who the owner is?
Maybe let me find it.
Okay. Yeah, let's make sure.
Choose one object you must touch throughout the casting the spell. Yada 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 yada. You'll learn whether these spells are affecting the item, what they are. If the item was created by a spell, you learn what spell created it.
Okay.
So, nah,
Okay.
not much of anything. But
Yeah,
what
so-
I would have to do would be legend lore, but
Yeah.
I
So
don't
you're
think that would help.
sitting there rubbing the hairbrush, and it's a hairbrush. You identified the item.
All right.
Okay, that's cool.
So, all right. So, 5th level spell, Scrying.
Okay.
Let's see. See and hear a creature that you choose in the same plane of existence as you.
Okay.
Okay. I'm looking for Syntaisha.
Okay.
And I have the hairbrush.
Okay. So as you are holding on to this hairbrush, what you see is kind of strange, because it seems that there is something very odd about the scrying. Is that as you're sitting there looking through this, what you see is this vast desert in front of you. Just an incredible, I mean, like, it looks like the Sahara. You have, just huge dunes and things like that. And all the while, it is like you're standing like right at the edge of a sandstorm. But instead of it just coming at you, it's just swirling in front of you. In the distance, you can see this very large tower centered in the middle of this sandstorm. And that is all you're able to pick up from it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I actually have some ideas about that.
Cool.
I wait until till everybody returns from the dinner,
Okay.
and I let them know what I found.
Oh, cool. Okay. So as you guys file out of dinner, I don't know if anybody actually wanted to do anything at dinner, but dinner was good. There was like
Kellex,
good
since
food.
it feels like it's been a long time, he was, if it's going to be a festival or a party in a sense, he was going to dance. He's got
Nice.
allies. He's turned the dragon into an ally.
Yeah.
We're pushing the forces back. He's in a good mood.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, and there are several. Like I said, there, of course, there are other people to dance with. There is music, and
Jermas performs, gives an outstanding perforance.
Okay, let's
As
roll.
always.
Let's roll and check that.
I rolled an 18. I wouldn't have said it.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would have said Jermas performs and fucks up as always.
Falls on his face. Face plants.
Yeah.
Stop drinking that elvish wine.
Yeah. After 2 carafes of elvish wine, I'm gonna play the lute, mother.
Well, he's created a new drink called a halfling short. So anyway,
Halfling short.
the green.
Oh man.
A lot of different things are wrong with that. Anyway, go ahead, Brian.
Cool.
And by the way, Brian, I sent you a private message on Roll20.
Oh, you did? Okay, cool. Oh, did you? Where is it? Hold on. Oh, I see.
You did what?
Oh.
To who?
Okay. Yeah, yeah, that's totally possible. Okay.
Yep. I know.
Cool.
I'm time constraining it, but
Cool. Okay.
During dinner, I will ask about the whereabouts and see how Zathia Silvermoon is doing. The young lady that was Sentisha's friend when all of this sort of transpired.
Right. Okay. Well, you know that Zathia Silvermoon is a waitress at the Broken Bow, which is
Oh.
in Instead. She's like a waitress there. Now, her mother used to be a handmaiden to the queen, like many, many, many years ago. Like actually when Sentisha was when she was younger.
But since she was there and a part of when the apple was taken, all of that sequence,
Yes.
and noticed her missing, is no one keeping track of Zathia?
Well, I mean, she's she's there. She's in town. But no one's like actually like, like I said, this has been, you're looking at close to 50, 60 years ago that all this went down. So
The apple happened 50
oh yeah,
years
it's been a very, very long time. I mean, you got to think. Shira's not Shira, was it Sentisha's? She's no longer a child any longer. I mean, this happened a long time ago. Well, a long time ago for like humans, not so much for.
I'm looking at it as in, so she was a little bitch for 50 years.
Oh yeah, yeah. She's been just an absolute, But they love her. Well, the people don't particularly care for her, but I mean,
In the history of elves, 50 years, what's that, right?
It's a drop,
Again, I'm going to check into Zathia just to make sure she's doing well.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, you head down to the Broken Bow and walk in, and of course it's always a pretty lively place after in the evenings. There's music, of course. It's all elves for the most part. You're the only gnome that has walked in this place in a long time, and there was an elven woman greets you at the door. You do not recognize her. I believe you've met Zathia once. Maybe.
I think we dealt with her twice. We met with her once to talk to her, and then we brought her to have her story stated again to the queen about what transpired that day.
Right, exactly. So, so you're able to meet with her. The greeter sits you at one of her tables, and Zathia comes over after a couple of minutes, recognizes you, and says, "Oh, greetings, sir. I cannot remember your name, but I do remember you've been here before." And we've talked to the queen in your presence. Welcome back to the Broken Bow. How can I be of help, or how can I be of service?
Do you have a few moments, a break maybe that's coming? I'd just like to talk to you a little bit.
She looks over at one of the other elven waitresses and says, "Hey, do you mind taking my shift for like 15 minutes?" And the other woman says, "Not a problem." And she sits down there across from you at a table. Or booth, more like it. Yeah.
Well, I at that point, that same waitress that she talked to, I'll ask for an ale and ask Zathia if she would like something.
She says, "Well, I'm actually at work, so I am just going to, I guess, stick with maybe just a fruit juice or something. Apple. That's always good."
I'll ask the waitress to bring that over.
Okay.
For us. I just want to see and kind of follow up on everything that happened with Sentisha, so long ago, or yesterday for you elves. I'm curious, have you seen any other oddities or anything like that? Things that have made you question what's going on?
Recently?
Sure. In the past, I don't know, 6 months.
Well,
I don't know.
I do know that the town guard visits more often now. Um,
Oh, I'm glad to see that you did survive the dragons attack.
yes, yes, we did. The inn only took superficial damage, very quickly, easy to fix. Um, but yeah, of course, I mean, we do know that Santaisha is, I guess, missing from court. That's really all that's been told to the people.
Okay. I know that just with your friendship and with you being there when, the whole Apple incident, I didn't know if you perhaps saw anything or had a feeling of someone following you or keeping an eye on you or anything.
Well, yes. Well, I mean, other than the crone that gave Santaisha the apple, which was very strange. I mean, this is Instead. We don't
I haven't seen
usually.
her about it, yeah.
Well,
And I
no.
chuckle.
And the less, I don't think I would ever want to see that hideous creature ever again. But
Certainly. If you do, please immediately take it to the Queen's Guard.
of course,
Immediately, if you see anything like that. I was just wanting to make sure that everything was okay with you and that you're doing well. Um,
well, as well.
Sometimes being a part of such important events, sometimes it could set one spinning out of control, if you will.
Yes.
So I just wanted to make sure you're okay.
Yeah, I mean, as well as I can be. She just kind of looks around the. Said, it's. I mean, it's not a glamorous life, but it does pay the taxes. So
Well, I think this is a pretty good place. I've certainly seen worse and burned it down.
uh,
But if
she kind of chuckles at that, but then also stops and goes, "Hmm, it's a little disturbing."
But yeah, that's good. Good. Um, I hate asking this. Just keep your eye out. You see anything? Um, let us know.
Sure, of course.
I mean, if anything's happening that's kind of odd and that, I might from time to time come check on you and see and that. Um, if you ever need to, if you're in trouble, please don't hesitate to send a letter. I'm sure if you give a letter to someone at court or at the
Ain't she
castle
right?
with
Ain't she right?
Well, yeah. I mean, they're not savages here. I mean, come on, they're not goblins for God's sakes. They're elves.
and the cap, that just Tivid Stivenblaven, Care of Bissell,
They're not.
Chancellor, and I'll see what I can do to help. I'm trying to kind of work out an eye within.
Yeah.
I mean, this is where Val goes. I'm sure that all of the elven, officers and their like probably frequent this place.
Oh yeah.
So, it's small steps.
Yeah.
And she's been involved with things, and she hasn't really panicked. So it seems like she might be a good sparrow, if you will.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Okay, so she thanks you, for the apple juice, and she says, "Well, thank you once again, Sir Timble, but I have to get back to work."
And I don't know how much it all costs, but I'll just throw down a silver and I'll give her a gold for her time.
She's, of course, very kind of taken aback. So, my, well, thank you, Sir Temple. Well, this will definitely help this month. And she stashes it into her little her belt pouch, and she says, "Of course, if I see anything, I will make sure to let you know."
Wonderful. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'll excuse myself and leave.
Okay. So, Anybody else doing other things? Let's see. Kellix was dancing. Yarn was snooping. Temple was chatting up Zathia. Anybody else? Garena, what are you doing? You're muted, but that's okay.
You're pulling
It's
ahead.
It's
You're
only
muted.
okay because then we don't have to hear Russ either.
Sorry, Russell left and I got distracted.
It's okay.
Oh, quick! Let's fuck over his character completely while he's gone.
Yeah, let's
What's he gonna do?
let's drop him 5
Let me pull
levels.
it up.
There you go.
We'll take 5 levels
He has
from
a
him.
permanent anti-magic shell on him.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna go to the magic tree and just meditate a little bit.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Yeah, so when the because so this is like in the evening time, so the sun is setting, the light is
And
this
do,
golden.
I sent you a message about what she was going to be meditating on.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Okay, so yeah, as you there's still druids walking around, but they do not bother you in any way. They Shira is not there because she's at dinner, but there is still druids. And so as you sit there, you actually kind of nestle yourself in between some of the exposed roots of the tree itself. And as soon as your back hits the back of this tree, you kind of feel that there's like a warmth spreading through your body. And it's because the ground is kind of cool to the touch. But as you reach out and you just kind of feel the roots, the exposed roots, you have this warm feeling sort of pressing in on you. It's not unpleasant, but it's surprising. As you sit there and you think, you close your eyes and just let your arms relax and just kind of fall to the sides. You ask the questions, and as you're asking the questions, it's becoming a mantra. And as you continue with it, you start to see things that you've never seen before. A wide open grassy plain. Again, the sky is different. It's like a teal green, a bright teal green in color. There's no sun, there's no stars. It's just this strange landscape. And as you're sitting there, just you see these. At first, you're thinking that they're gnomes, but as they get closer, you realize that they're not gnomes at all.
Brownies.
They are kind of strange looking creatures.
Red cap.
You've heard of them before, but before they get close enough, you can hear them, and they're playing these wonderful musical instruments. And you feel that you want to actually get up and dance with them. It feels like it's so real that you're there. And as you kind of looking at them, you realize that, wow, and you reach up and you feel your head and realizing that, wait a minute, they have the same horns that I do. But why are they so, they just seem so happy? Where is this? And but you can see that there's not just one or two of them, there's more. And now there's like a small community of these creatures. And some have wings like those of dragonflies. And you're like, this is incredible. But as you're thinking this, you feel a stiff wind kind of catch you, kind of blow. And as it does, they all stop. And they all slowly turn to look in your direction. And they stand there. And it's like their eyes are literally piercing and watching you. And then they scatter. Some fly, some jump very, very high, some burrow into the ground, and others just fade out. And
Do
you're
I know
like,
what they are?
no, you've never, but you realize that as you're looking at them, they look so much like you. The facial features, the horns, and you're thinking, what is this? What is this? I mean, this answers. This is not. You feel that there's an answer, but then again, you feel that it's still a mystery. And then your eyes flutter open, and there's a druid standing in front of you. One of the druids, and she just looks down at you and says, "Lady Grenna, it's getting late." And then you realize as you open your eyes, it's pitch dark outside. When you sat down, it was still early evening. It was dinner time, and now it is closer to midnight. She says,
It was a good dream.
but
A
that was
dream within a dream.
but that was the thing. It wasn't a dream. You went somewhere.
I did.
You went somewhere. Because you got to think, if you had been there this entire time, they would have woke you up sooner.
Yeah.
If you'd been asleep, you just reappeared and somebody noticed you.
Do I know the druid that woke me up?
No, you'd never seen her before. But she reaches down a hand to help you stand.
Huh. I guess I'll go find my bed.
And
He finds, what's his name?
cool.
Balamir. I'm terrible with names.
Okay, so there is that.
Okay.
I know that answered
Maybe
none.
it's
That
really
answered none of your questions.
Create it more.
All right, so I guess we got to go to the cemetery and meet the
Yeah.
dragon.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So the rest of you, and Grenna finally makes it to her to bed. Like literally 6 hours past the time. But yeah, the next morning you all arise and get ready to make your way towards the ancient royal cemetery, which is up in the hills, or actually up the mountain just west of Innstat. And
how far of is it a decent walk, or can we take some griffins?
It's about an hour. But it's it's very easygoing. There are steps, but it's so it's really kind of up to you. I suppose you could take those, or you could take the paths that the path that the royalty of Celene have taken for thousands of years to to bury their dead. So that's up to you.
We could get Griffins and call it a Gruber.
I say we follow the royal path.
Yeah, I'm up for a walk.
Cool. Okay. So you all start to make your way. You don your armor and gear and everything, and you start to make your way, and you finally get to this archway that is made of stone, but it's covered in this beautiful ivy. And in Elvish, it says across the top of this arch, "To a beautiful beyond." And so you start to make your way past the arch.
Are we certain that this isn't going to just toss us into the Feywilds?
No, we're not. Charge!
I didn't say that we were going or
That's not
wanting.
what I'm thinking.
I'm just worried that, Portal
No, I didn't call you, son.
we've got a Dryad that could make things problematic for us at every turn. I'm looking at these thinking we're rolling the dice, but I've always been good at dice, so let's go.
Okay. So, yeah, as you make your way up this path, it is very well kept. It looks as though there is like crushed stone and gravel. The it has obviously been tended by druids and rangers for from time immemorial, obviously. But then you finally get to the foot of the mountain itself, and this is where it gets really different because the steps that have been carved are not those carved by the hands of humans or elves, but by dwarven kind. And you can see on the first step is a symbol. It is an old a dwarven mark used by dwarven craftsmen. It's not a language. It's just letting them know that this is the first of many steps. It's very poetic, and it just kind of harkens back to a time when the dwarves really owned the mountain passes before the giants, before some of the other races, more monstrous races, made their way into those great dwarven halls. And Kiffy, you look at these and immediately remember back to your childhood, watching your aunts and uncles and brothers and sisters, craft things from stone and metal, and it just brings back this flood of emotion that you did not know these stairs were here, and and how ancient they are. And you also, as you're looking at them, you can see that there's like a divot in the middle where thousands and thousands of steps, millions maybe, have made an impression in the stone. And knowing that not just the feet of elves have trod here, but also your people. So you stop for a minute to just kind of soak in this majesty that is laying before you. So
most impressive.
So yeah, so you all start
You
going up
okay,
these.
Master Dwarf?
Knowing Dwarvish, do I understand what that rune is?
You don't, because it's not actually the Dwarven language. It is sort of like a what's the best way to put this? Like a stone. It's a stone right symbol. Yeah, it's different. It's a lot. It's a lot like, okay, you know how like you're able to read, like not undercommon, or it's like
The hobo.
yeah, like yes, that yeah, it's a lot like that, but
It's a craftsman's mark.
It's a craftsman's mark. It's
Well,
but
I will ask Kiffy and Dwarven. Oh, what does that mean?
I'd tell them what it means as far as I understand it.
yeah, that's what I was talking about. Was more, it's like it's the poetic meaning behind the first step on a journey. And you're also kind of thinking, and Kiffy especially said, so if these steps end in this cemetery, do they really end in the cemetery, or are there hidden passages that only dwarves would know? So it kind of heightens your interest, but also makes you a little bit concerned that these ancient pathways that may be hidden might also hide creatures other than your kin. So it kind of creepy. But the sun is up, and it's you know, at least that's one thing. Uh, a lot of the monstrous denizens do not like the sun, and so they stay far from it. But so you all continue on. I've gone on long enough about these stairs. Uh, and I said it takes about a good hour till you finally get to the top of this flattened peak. And once you actually get to it, you pass through another archway. Very, very similar to the first one. It's got ivy covering it. And but this one does not have any special inscription on it. But what you see laying before you is, it's not like a human graveyard where you have like gravestones and, you know, people are, these are beautiful above ground crypts, like you know, like what you would see in like a Gothic cathedral, where you can actually see the inlay of the person in stone, and it's just elves and their kin. It's just it's beautiful, and like I said, obviously it's being kept by someone. And as you are walking through, you do see that there is an elven ranger who is posted there, who you can see has a set of he has a sickle with him to cut away the briars and things like that that would invade this sacred place. And he says, "Good morning and welcome. I wasn't expecting someone this morning. My name is
Right now, just wait.
my name is my name is Tassir. I am glad to make your acquaintance. You come here
Good
to
morning.
you come here to what is it that you seek? Trust me, there's nothing here worth stealing."
Wow.
There
Oh,
will
man.
be. There will be.
I thought we had the
Royals?
Shira with us.
No,
I
she's
thought
in the
Shira
meeting.
was coming with us.
She
Yeah, I
in the
was going to
meeting.
ask Brian if we were just, it was just a trooper. Did we have others with us?
Believe. I mean, did you all want other people to go with you?
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, yeah, if Shira wanted to come, we wouldn't have said no.
I thought I had thought Shira would come along to meet the dragon here to ensure safety. You don't. I thought she wouldn't want to meet her at the grove first. This was the dragon that attacked them.
Makes good
Our word
sense.
is pretty good, but it's not infallible.
Okay. So as he is saying this, Shiro steps out from behind you, behind the crowd, and he immediately falls to one knee and says, "Oh, Your Majesty, I did not realize that you were escorting this
Oh, you
this
thought we were
group.
thieves.
Yeah, thieves." And just as he's finishing his sentence, you hear the telltale whoosh of large leathery wings beating the air as he looks up immediately and sees Erebisterax carrying her last egg is sort of hovering above this ancient graveyard, and he immediately
He's still Ranger.
so he immediately stands and says, I don't remember signing up for this."
This is supposed to be happening. Don't worry. It's supposed to be happening.
Yeah, you see Shira just kind of walks over to him and places her hand upon his shoulder, and she says, "Everything is fine. This is the way it was supposed to be." And he just looks at her and says, "I'm not being like sacrificed to this thing, am I? I didn't sign up for that." And she went, "No,
Did we
no.
forget that?
I don't remember seeing that in the waiver." What?
There's a
And that's
waiver.
what she doesn't need anybody in this party. She already knows who she's going to eat.
Yeah. So, so the Aravistrax lands in this ancient graveyard, not disturbing anything, and softly places the egg onto the grass that is in the cemetery. And as soon as she touches down, puts the eggs down, she immediately turns into her humanoid form.
I will hold out clothing,
Okay.
boots.
Yeah, you see the Elven Ranger kind of like turn his, as soon as he gaze upon the naked form of this dragoness, and just like, whoa, okay, well, definitely didn't know this was going to happen today. And so you hand her the clothing and she dresses, and it's very functional. Also, albeit even though some of the things may be a little bit shorter than, because she is quite tall, but you did.
Oh, I did tell the tailor that she was tall.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, I mean, there's some slight, but it still comes together and looks. It actually looks quite regal. She said, "Thank you, thank you." Aravistrax says, "Thank you, Sir Temple, for the gift of the clothes." I was also kind of wondering about that myself as I was flying here. I'm like, huh, I didn't even pack something. Terrible.
I thought it was more practical to be ready just in case.
So
you'll be able to think about what you'll be able to tell your grandchildren.
So
a naked dragon.
So she bends down and picks up the egg, and she walks over and she says, so
we'll do the introductions.
Yep, introductions.
Okay. So you introduced her to Shira.
This is Shira, once queen, but leader, head of the grove of whatever their
Queen
name is.
Mother of Celene and the Archdruid.
Yeah, she's considered an Archdruid. So
of the whatever this is, grove.
Okay, so yeah, you're thinking of the Grove of the Life Tree, which which actually has a proper name, and the name of the tree is Delastra, which is Delastra.
Delastra.
Delastra, Delastra.
I have a certain kinship with the tree, so that's good to know.
Yeah, it actually has a name. And an interesting thing that the druids also believe that there is a matching tree on the opposite side of the world, and the roots of Delastra travel through the earth itself and through Earth itself, and actually connect to that other tree on the other side of the world. Which is weird, but no one has ever seen this tree because no one has ever been that far. So, but it is a
challenge like that.
That is their feelings. Okay, so Aravistrax, says, thank you, Queen Mother, for agreeing to take my egg to keep it safe. She says, I look forward to working with you and all of you, actually. And she says, so I guess we should go to Instead. And Shira says, yes, I think it is time.
Yeah, we actually have also spoken with Queen Yolanda, and she would also like to meet with you. And she will meet us there at the Life Tree.
Wonderful. I don't think I've ever met a queen before. Interesting. Oh, so she's holding the egg, and she says, so I guess we should go. And
I jokingly say, well, we'll civilize you yet.
She just kind of smiles down at you, being that she's 6'7". Uh, and she says, "So, I guess we should
And
be
I'm not.
off." So you start to make your way back down the dwarven staircase, and
Oh,
yeah. So she, like I said, it takes about an hour for you to finally get down to the city itself. You see that there are people. I mean, there are elvish, folk, who do immediately take kind of a notice of Aravistrax and her height, because usually the only people who are that tall are, like half giants, Goliaths, things of that nature.
She does have a hooded robe that if she
Okay,
feels she can put the hood up.
yeah, and that probably would help her a little bit. But finally, you are now back at the life tree, and you can see that a small entourage of people has arrived with Queen Yolanda. Yolanda's there, Melda's there, Moore's Ivy is also there, Shira's with you guys, and even Asenath has tagged along to see what's happening. And so everybody is standing at the base of this tree. And
Brian,
yes.
we did have a discussion on the way down
Okay.
that needed to transpire.
Oh, okay.
We were going to talk to Aravistarax and
Okay.
Shira and see if it would be tenable for her to spend some time here, allowing the egg to, I don't know, a degree of comfort, for her to feel more comfortable that the egg is safe. Maybe a few weeks, she could be the guest while we take care of a matter that we would be gone. We have a number of things that needs to be handled within a short time. So we're kind of we would feel more comfortable if you were to be present here with the egg with Celene for a period of time while we take care of this other matter.
The whole point of leaving it here was so she didn't have to stay with it.
I know. We're asking for a short time.
Okay, so yeah, she's a little puzzled at that, because she was thinking that once the egg was secure, that she would be able to help the war effort, but she does understand what you're getting at. But
would it be a terrible effort for you to perhaps leave from here to take your part in the war effort, so that you're sort of going and coming, being safe? I know that would be
that. You mean to use Instead as a base of operations?
Yes.
correct.
And I turn to Shira, should you all be comfortable with that? We're looking to ensure that there's a degree of safety with the matters in dealing with Sintaisha. We would feel better if that was here. We have two other matters that we have to deal with also, but one can wait, and I feel one cannot.
Okay. She says, Shira says, well, we'll have to ask Yolanda about using Instead as a base of operation. The nobles must be known, or must know about this. I cannot speak for them, but that would be wonderful. That would also give us a level of respectability, that we have a dragon at our at our behest.
Hosting a dragon.
Yes.
And frankly, looking at the two of them, I hope this creates a great kinship and friendship.
Yeah,
We need more of that in this world.
true.
Indeed.
So he says, I believe I could do that if the queen is in agreement. That's the only thing that we would need to ask. So, okay, so we get to the tree. Everyone is there. You see, Aravistrax hands the egg to Shira. Shira takes it to actually almost the exact same place, Grenna, that you had rested the night before, and places it in the crook of the exposed roots. And as soon as she puts it down there, she places her hands on the bark right above where the egg is laying, and you can now see that the roots have started to shift and move, so they create kind of a cocoon around the dragon's egg, which really kind of interesting. And as it does so, Kellex, just what you see in front of you is so reminiscent of a dream that you had.
Right.
And as you were standing there watching all of this, you immediately, there's the hint of a gold flash on one of the branches above in the tree. And it draws not just your attention, but the attention of several others, including Aravistrax. And as you look up, you realize that there is some sort of strange orb looking item. Almost looks like an apple, but it is much larger and it looks translucent, almost like a crystal ball.
Does Shira take notice of this quickly?
Yes, she does. And immediately she went, oh, this is an orb of prophecy. The tree rarely, I've only seen this happen once before, which was close to almost 1,000 years ago.
Was it for Harry Potter?
No. And at that time, yeah, you see Aravistrax reach up, and as her hand gets closer to it, it turns into a claw as she pulls it down, and she hands it to Shira.
Awesome. A dream fulfilled, a prophecy fulfilled.
Hopefully, we survive it.
We don't want to go to where my prophecy was.
What kind of claw did it, Brian? What kind of claw did it turn into?
It looked like her dragon claw, but it was just
Yeah,
smaller.
it was her hand that turned into a claw.
Yeah, as it got closer to
Gotcha.
it turned into a dragon's claw, which is very, very just like, yeah, as Kellex, as you're standing there, it's just like, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I asked Shira the prophecy. Do you remember what the prophecy was last time?
She said it had something to do with, it was a war that, like I said, it's been over 1,000 years ago. I believe it was that, I would have to check the archives. It's just been so long. But
understandable.
yeah.
Is the prophecy usually meant for just one, or is it something that's shared?
It's usually something that's shared. She, as Aravistrax hands it to her, she looks upon it and she says, eventually, hopefully within maybe even just hours, it will tell us what it plans to impart to us. I think it would probably be wise that when it does, all of us, all of you, be present for it. I will let you know once the cloudiness clears within the orb. Right now, it looks like a swirling gaseous cloud inside of it. kind of cool.
Very cool.
Okay. Neat.
Very cool.
All right. Wow. Okay, so with that, trying to think where else I could take you guys this evening, because we're right at the 9:30 mark, so that's all fine. Okay. Trying to think if there's anything else. Anything else you guys want to know?
Yeah, as we're leaving, I kind of tug on the Queen Mother's robe.
Mhm. She looks down and says, "Yes, Lady Grenna, how can I help you?"
Yeah, I tell her about what happened while I was meditating.
She, as you were meditating the night before, you tell her everything. She just kind of looks down at you and she says, "You haven't been told, have you?"
I'm a gnome, right?
"I'm sorry, dear. You're not a gnome. You're not from here. This isn't your world."
Great.
You're a Kender.
He's like, oh no!
Kirby's long lost sister.
Oh, that would be so disturbing.
In a lot of ways, I had to jump in and stop eating just to be there for that. So,
Do you know what I am?
Amina.
I'm talking to you.
She says, I think probably the best way to put this is that
You're screwed. No.
okay, so sometimes what happens is, and this doesn't happen often, but it has happened in the past where
Are you?
Faye will,
Mommy and Daddy love each other very much.
yeah.
You're a swap.
Said sometimes very strange things like this do happen. Fae creatures or Fae will actually take a Fae child, and swap it with a human child and take that human child back to the Feywild. I believe you are one of those that was left behind.
Great. I'm not wanted by anybody.
Does that make her a war baby?
Hey, you're part of this team. Don't even start that.
Where's my puppy dog? No.
Is that to me or to Grenna?
Yes.
Alrighty then.
Said, unfortunately, it would probably be best is if you finally do make your way to your original home, your homeland, home world, then I think everything will probably become more clear to you.
Homeland, homeworld. You mean like
Feywild.
The Feywild.
Cray, Crin.
Kryn.
Greenland? Okay.
Well,
We got
better than Jersey.
Better than Jersey.
to go blow some shit up. Yeah.
Well,
Alrighty
do we
then. I'm
want-
hungry. Let's go eat.
Do we want to have the discussion about with Queen Yolanda here so that we can nail down where we're going next?
Probably a very good idea.
Okay.
Well, quickly, let's take a quick huddle. Are we going to tell them everything? Or are we aware we have to go, what we're doing? And hope maybe that they would help in some way? Or do we
Have
just...
made a decision where we're going yet?
We're making the decision now as to talking about what's possible.
Okay.
I'm not running over the party. I'm asking questions and seeing.
It almost sounds like if we decide when we do go to the Fey realm or Feywild, it sounds like we need to. Corinna's going to need to go talk with her parents first.
Why?
Because maybe they can give us information that we don't currently have. Plus, we still
Maybe
have
there,
to
maybe,
know.
there, maybe there was a very particular reason why that Fey approached Grinna.
I thought we were going to just go and jump off and talk with Bartholomew and get his info, and then, well, basically pull what is it as the last thing and walk the circle.
Okay.
Wouldn't you like as much information as you can before we move forward? I know we don't normally do that.
I was going to say, when have we done that? Most of the time, it's
Sometimes you just gotta break that link, right? But at this point, I think Kellex is good either way. Don't know what we want to do, because he knows that right now the dragon's going to be able to take care of, it's going to go back and forth between the front and here. So, and the egg is obviously well protected.
Yep. I just want to make sure that we're all ready to do whatever we're going to do. It's just, what are our, we've got 3 options now, one of which, though, I think we can put away, but I'm very fearful that we might be followed, and that includes the Feywild. So
Yeah.
I'm concerned with him jumping over there.
Before we enter the Feywild, shouldn't we probably learn a little bit more about the etiquette of the court if we're able to, and what would be considered an appropriate gift for my transgression?
Do you think that anything that we will find in Mortal Worlds written about the Fey court will be accurate, not just an out and out lie to trip us up so that they can devour us? I just, the integrity of the information concerns me.
Okay.
That's just all. Now,
Well,
I mean, if
even
we got
with integrity, it's still information we might be able to use.
but the Fey are
All
so
depends on the circumstances, right?
Fey are so well known for trickery.
And it is possible that my parents actually knew who left me and had more information.
Well,
No,
is there a way for us to
Right
quickly
along.
check back and forth?
No, they said that it would be better to give me the information face to face. But they didn't say mom and dad either, so that kind of sucks.
But we're also looking at, that's quite a distance.
We have a
And
dragon.
if we go there, we're going to have to stop off and check on someone's wife. We'll have to go and stop off at the front and check on things there. And
What I'm
seems
hearing here,
more distraction.
what I'm hearing here is we go after Sentation.
You really want to go there?
I think it's
You've
much
been
more.
humping that dog. You've been humping that dog all night. I will flatly say,
Everybody else has an elf. I'm an elf too.
I would rather go to. Well, there's a lot of them. This is a big city, but I'm just looking to get the Dryad off her back. Sick and tired of. So
I don't have
I
an
guess okay, so here's a question. I guess for Greyhawk, I don't know. How closely are hags related to the Fae?
oh, hag.
Are they related? Are they any way connected to the Fae at all?
I don't know.
Hello?
Brian?
Oh, was that for me? Sorry.
Oh, well, that was just a question, but yeah.
People are sending me messages and we're trying to figure out stuff.
Not me.
Okay. So what was the question?
I guess, do we know how closely hags are related to Fae? I guess into regards to Greyhawk, if they are all at all. I know in some worlds, hags are almost considered, Fae in a way. Fae in a way.
I would say hags being more like witches.
Okay.
Not really Fae related because there are other races that can have witches.
Okay.
And anybody can be a hag, to be honest. So
Yeah,
it's just
shit. I'm sure I work with a few, so hell.
They don't watch this, do they?
that's how I tell them to.
No.
Well, we know it's not Meg Bucklebone. She's a water hag. So
I don't know, Kiffy. Let's get the
everybody
Master
turns
Kiffy's
to the
thoughts
dwarf.
on this.
Jink. Yeah, dwarf could be.
What now?
We're trying to decide: do we deal with the Fae? And if we do that, do we go visit Grinna's family first, which was suggested, or do we go deal with the hag?
Although, to be honest, every time we come up with a plan, we change it.
I don't think
That's
that
true.
we really should go deal with the hag right now. That's yet another side quest amongst our giant pile of side quests. We should really deal with this threat directly. That's my opinion.
So, okay, so you're saying just skip the Fae and the hag and go try to find Toby?
No,
Yeah, please do.
the Fae now, not the hag.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys do remember how easy it is to get a hold of Toby, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you have the ability. You could do it.
Yeah, no. Let him go peep through more windows first. All right, so we got all right, Sir Tomas or Lord Tomas.
Well, maybe this is the point right now that we just stop for the evening and go from there.
Both in real life and in game.
The game is real life.
They did a movie about that. You better be careful.
Yeah. Next thing you know, you're in the steam tunnels.
Yeah.
Played by Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Which, for the record, that is not the first reference that I've found in researching for D&D in a movie.
I think you brought that up before. It was a war.
Taps of Tom Cruise. Cruise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think we need to settle out. If we make a decision, then at least we'll know how to direct things.
Let's all sleep on it. So it is evening time or nighttime, right?
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, that's fine. So I guess this is a good enough place to stop for the evening. You guys can think about what you want to do. Where to head off to? Are you gonna head off to deal with the Fey curse, or are you going to go off and deal with the hag?
And we'll have a meaningful Discord discussion and stick to the plan.
And has that ever happened?
At no point has that ever happened. So
No. And the person who changes it, Ed.
Yeah.
What do you look at me to create chaos?
There's that Ed factor.
The Ed factor.
The plan. We're gonna stick to the plan. We're all ready for the plan, and Ed goes this way, and I'm like, well, I guess that we're changing.
And that's the point. We know it always is going to be a tangent by Ed that we will
Yep.
follow. Thus,
So it doesn't matter what we decide.
follow the plan.
It's the tyranny of the minority. Alrighty. Okay, well, folks. Okay, well, thanks again for hanging out this evening. Hope everybody had a good time. No, we didn't really get into any fighting. I had everything ready to do some fighting, but there was no fighting, so that's okay. Next time, hopefully there'll be some fighting. So make sure to check us out next Thursday, I hope. Thursday, maybe? Okay, I don't know. Yeah, so if we can make it all for Thursday, we'll catch you guys next Thursday. If you happen to be in the Point Pleasant, West Virginia area on Saturday and Sunday, I will be there with my son.
We were going to try and make it over there, Brian, but we're hearing a little bit about rain at the football game, so I don't feel like getting stoked at a football game.
Oh.
And then going, well, we're at this part of West Virginia, and you're in this part of West Virginia. We're more the coastal side, and there's a chance we might get wet. But
yeah, I think at the location we had like either it was a 24% chance, and then Sunday was a 15% chance, but it was going to be hot as balls, like 90 degrees, 92 degrees both days, and I'm like, I'm going to be cooking up there, so got to wear my hat.
So Brian, here's what you do though. There is a Mothman statue, and I actually subscribe to the webcam for that statue. To go out there and hold a banner up or some shit in front of the camera.
Oh, that would
be
cool.
Get footage for it.
Oh, that'd be hilarious. Yeah, that'd be cool.
I'll send you tomorrow the link to the camera so you can see
cool
where to look for it. So you can say, yes, we're in front of the camera at the Mothman statue.
Yeah. So yeah, if anybody's in that area and you happen to see a big old tall 6'4", 6'3", 6'4" guy walking around with his hat on, you can, it's me probably. So yeah, we'll catch you guys next week. Hope everybody has a good rest of your week. Have a good weekend, and we'll catch you then. Bye.
Good game, Brian.
Bye, guys.
Yep, good game.
Bye.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Our feet are the same. Well, it's better than our Peter stain.
That is preferable.
But no, I don't have one.